Have you ever wondered why some men stay loyal and committed while others, even after promising the world, slowly drift away? What makes one man see a woman as the center of his life and another see her as replaceable? The truth is, loyalty is not built on love alone. Every faithful man stays when three invisible pillars hold the relationship together, and if even one of them collapses, everything begins to crumble, no matter how much he says he loves you. Most women believe that if they love deeply, support him and stay loyal, he will never leave. But that's not how the male mind works. A man can receive affection, attention, and care, yet still feel emotionally disconnected, because what keeps a man faithful isn't what you do for him, but what he feels when he's with you. You see, a man doesn't stay because you're beautiful or kind. He stays because you make him feel something that no one else does. And that something comes from three emotional pillars that every man needs, even if he never admits it out loud. In this video, I'm going to help you understand what truly holds a faithful man by your side and what silently pushes him away. But before we dive in, take a moment to be honest with yourself. Have you ever felt that a man seemed fully present one moment and then distant the next? That he said things like, "You're perfect, you're everything I want," and yet his actions didn't match his words? That's not confusion. That's the moment when one of those emotional pillars starts to break. And when that happens, even a loyal man starts questioning the connection. Not because he wants to cheat, but because he starts to feel lost, disconnected from the sense of meaning and security that once tied him to you. Understanding these three pillars changes everything. It allows you to see love not as a game of control, but as a balance of emotional truth. It helps you stop chasing and start understanding. Because the moment you know what truly anchors a man's loyalty, you'll never again have to beg for effort, attention, or love. So listen carefully. The reason men stay isn't luck, beauty, or effort. It's because, consciously or not, these three emotional foundations make him feel safe, alive, and deeply bonded to you. And once you know how they work, you'll never see relationships the same way again. There was a woman named Emily. She was intelligent, kind, and devoted. She believed that love was about giving everything: time, energy, care, and forgiveness. When she met Daniel, he was different from anyone she had ever known. He was calm, protective, and seemed genuinely interested in her world. From the beginning, he told her he wanted something real, and she believed him. At first, their connection felt strong. He texted her every morning, made her laugh effortlessly, and told her how peaceful he felt when he was around her. Emily felt like she had finally found someone who saw her soul, so she gave her all. She supported him when he was stressed, listened when he vented about work, and tried to make his life lighter in every possible way. But as months went by, something began to change. The man who once couldn't stop talking to her began to fall silent. The calls got shorter, the messages slower. He was still kind but distant, like someone whose heart was in another place. When she asked if something was wrong, he said everything was fine. When she tried to fix it, he told her she was overthinking. Emily couldn't understand. She hadn't changed. She still loved him, cared for him, and tried to keep things alive. Yet somehow, he was slipping away. She wondered if he was losing interest, or worse, if he was already seeing someone else. But the truth was something deeper, something most women never realize until it's too late. Daniel wasn't leaving because he stopped loving her. He was leaving because deep inside, one of those emotional pillars had started to collapse. The feeling that once made him feel seen, respected, and needed had quietly faded away. And once that emotional structure weakens, no amount of effort or affection can hold a man in place. Emily began noticing small moments that revealed the truth, like when he shared good news with his friends before telling her, or when she tried to express her feelings, and he brushed it off as too emotional. She started feeling invisible, like she was always the one trying to reach him while he was already halfway out the door. The saddest part? She blamed herself. She thought maybe she was too much, too emotional, too available. But what she didn't see was that the problem wasn't her intensity. It was that Daniel no longer felt emotionally grounded in the relationship. The invisible glue that held his loyalty was fading, and neither of them understood why. That's when she decided to take a step back, to stop chasing, to observe instead of reacting. And in that silence, she discovered what truly makes a man stay. It's not effort, not sacrifice, not even love in the romantic sense. It's those three invisible pillars: emotional stability, admiration, and connection. Without them, Even a loyal man will drift. With them, even the most distant heart will find its way back. Let's talk about the first pillar, emotional stability. Every faithful man needs to feel a sense of calm when he's around a woman. Not the kind of calm that comes from silence or pretending everything is fine, but the calm that comes from trust. When a man feels that your emotions are not unpredictable storms he has to survive, but a safe space he can lean into, he begins to associate you with peace. And peace for a man is the rarest form of love. Men spend their lives fighting, with pressure, responsibility, and the silent expectations society places on them. They are taught to be strong, not to show weakness, not to cry, not to talk. So when he finds a woman who doesn't add more chaos to his world but helps him breathe, he holds on to her differently. A man can be loyal to beauty, to kindness, or even to passion for a while, but he stays loyal to peace forever. That's why emotional stability doesn't mean being emotionless or passive. It means showing him that you can express your feelings without turning them into threats, guilt, or chaos. It's about creating an environment where he feels understood, not judged. When he knows he can be fully himself, weak, tired, frustrated, and you still see him as capable and strong, he feels emotionally safe, and no man ever betrays the woman who gives him that. Now, the second pillar, admiration. A man's heart doesn't respond to words of love as much as it does to respect. You can tell him you love him 1,000 times, but what truly reaches him is when he feels admired for who he is. That doesn't mean worshiping him or losing your power. It means recognizing his effort, his growth, and his small victories, even the ones he thinks no one sees. When a man feels admired, he rises. He wants to become even more of what you see in him. It's not manipulation, it's human psychology. Every man has a deep need to feel that he is making a difference in your life, that he's not just there, but that he matters. When that feeling disappears, his motivation to invest emotionally fades too. This is why some women do everything right. They care, they give, they love, but the man still drifts away, because they're giving love from the heart, but they're not triggering the emotional need for respect. And when that need isn't met, a man's loyalty starts to shift from emotional to mechanical. He stays physically, but not mentally. And finally, the third pillar, connection. This is what ties everything together. Connection is not just chemistry or shared interests. It's that deep, invisible bond where he feels that you understand him in ways others don't, that you see beyond his surface. When a man feels emotionally connected, he doesn't seek validation elsewhere, because you've already given him the one thing every man secretly wants, to be seen without being exposed. Connection happens when you stop trying to control how he loves you and start understanding how he feels love. Every man has a different emotional language. Some show affection through actions, others through words, and others through consistency. When you align with his emotional language, without trying to change it, he feels known. And being known is what creates unbreakable loyalty. These three pillars, emotional stability, admiration, and connection, are the silent forces that hold a man close. Without them, even the best intentions fade. But when they exist together, they create something rare, not just attraction or comfort, but bonding. And that bond doesn't break easily. It's the reason why a man can meet 100 women and still think about one, the one who made him feel at peace, respected, and deeply understood. The danger is that most women only realize the importance of these three pillars when it's already too late, when the man has emotionally checked out, when conversations turn into silence, and when the relationship starts to feel like a routine instead of a connection. That's when the panic begins, the chasing, the overthinking, the constant need to fix what's already broken. But by that point, the man isn't running from you. He's running from how he feels when he's with you. And that's what makes everything so painful, because you start to believe he's leaving for someone better, when in reality, he's leaving to escape an emotional emptiness he doesn't even understand. A man doesn't wake up one day and decide to stop being loyal. It happens slowly. It begins the moment he feels emotionally unsafe, unappreciated, or unseen. The moment those pillars start to shake, his loyalty starts to erode, not because he wants to cheat, but because his emotional world begins to collapse. And when a man feels disconnected from peace, admiration, and connection, he begins searching for it somewhere else, even if he doesn't know that's what he's doing. That's why it's crucial to recognize the early signs. When he starts withdrawing emotionally, don't try to pull him back with intensity or guilt. Don't beg him to stay. Instead, return to what created the bond in the first place: stability, admiration, connection. Speak his emotional language again. Show calm where there is chaos, respect where there is distance, understanding where there is silence. Because every time you react with desperation, you reinforce his fear that being with you means losing his peace. But every time you respond with calm confidence, you remind him that being with you means finding it. And that subtle difference decides everything, whether he drifts away or finds his way back. When a man truly loves a woman, he doesn't want to leave. He wants to stay, but he needs to feel something worth staying for. If those emotional foundations collapse, he feels lost, not because he stopped caring, but because he no longer feels alive in the relationship. That's when his eyes start to wander, not out of betrayal, but confusion. So many women lose themselves trying to convince a man to stay, when the real answer is not in convincing, it's in rebuilding. If you can rebuild the 3 pillars, everything changes. But if you ignore them, no amount of effort, affection, or sacrifice will work. He may remain physically, but emotionally he's already gone. That's the urgency of understanding the male mind. It's not about control, it's about awareness. Once you understand what makes him feel safe, admired, and connected, you hold the keys to emotional loyalty. And when you stop guessing and start seeing, you no longer fear losing him, because you finally understand what makes him want to stay. At the end of the day, loyalty isn't about rules, promises, or fear of losing someone. It's about emotional truth. A faithful man stays not because he's trapped or obligated, but because something deep inside him feels at home. He feels safe to be himself, proud to be with you, and connected in a way he doesn't want to lose. That's what real loyalty is. Not fear of consequences, but fear of losing meaning. Every man is searching for a place where his soul can rest, where he doesn't have to pretend, compete, or perform. If you can give him that sense of emotional peace, you'll never have to question his loyalty. Not because you control him, but because he chooses you every day from a place of freedom. And that's the beauty of these 3 pillars. They don't just keep him faithful, they transform the entire relationship. When there's emotional stability, arguments don't destroy the bond, they strengthen it. When there's admiration, he feels inspired to give more. And when there's deep connection, even silence feels comforting. Those are the relationships that last. Those are the women men remember for life. So ask yourself, are you building a relationship that gives peace or one that demands it? Are you feeding his ego or his soul? Because when you understand this difference, you stop chasing love and start attracting loyalty. You stop trying to make him stay, and instead become the reason he doesn't want to go anywhere. Every woman deserves a man who chooses her, not out of comfort, but out of conviction. And every man deserves a woman who knows how to keep the emotional foundation alive. The moment you start focusing on these 3 pillars, emotional stability, admiration, and connection, everything else begins to align naturally. Communication gets easier, trust grows, intimacy deepens, and the fear of losing him disappears because you're no longer relying on luck. You're building loyalty on purpose. If this message resonated with you, it's not by accident. It means part of you already knows what you've been missing. Not love, but understanding. So keep learning, keep observing, and keep growing emotionally. Because when you understand how the male mind connects, you stop being replaceable and you become unforgettable.